Most people enjoy watching a fighter who's been talking a lot of crazy shit get humbled, especially when said fighter has been very cocky in the build-up, and finally, when it comes to walking the walk, they end up folding. And in this case, that's exactly what happens with Alex Hernandez. To start off, we have to talk about the rise of Alex Hernandez in the UFC. Now, for his UFC debut, he made that in 2018 when he was 25 years old against ranked fighter Beneil Dariush. Now, that's quite a hard debut. Not many fighters get a debut against a ranked fighter in their very first fight in the UFC. However, that was the case for Hernandez. Again, only 25 years old. Not very old. That's quite young in MMA terms. And he managed to knock out Dariush in the first round. I remember this fight. He came out of the gates. He tried to fake glove touch. He faked the glove touch, push kicked Dariush in the body. Was the aggressive straight away. He was fighting very aggressive. Was very loose on his feet. And he was able to knock out Dariush within like a minute and a half in the first round, which was a massive statement for your UFC debut, knocking out a ranked fighter such as Beneil Dariush. That is very impressive. And he only continued this when he beat Olivier Aubin-Mercier in his second fight. Now, Mercier is a grappler, and I think people are expecting Hernandez to knock out Mercier. Mercier was good, but I wouldn't say he was as good as Beneil Dariush. And Hernandez went out there and just out-grappled Mercier. Again, very impressive. It was quite a boring fight, I won't lie. But to be able to out-grapple Mercier when that's his bread and butter was very, very impressive. Again, a very good start for Hernandez's UFC career. But his next fight, he was matched up against Donald Cerrone. Now, the majority of MMA fans are very familiar with Cowboy Cerrone's work in the UFC. A very respected fighter, had a lot of ups, had a lot of downs. And at this point in his career, he wasn't really in his prime. He moved up to 170, had a bit of success there, suffered a few losses. He lost to Masvidal, Darren Till, Leon Edwards. And then he came back down in weight. And this is when he was about to go up against Alex Hernandez. Now, a lot of people were kind of writing off Cerrone in a sense. In his last performance, he got a nice performance against Mike Perry and was able to get a submission in the first round. A very impressive performance from Donald Cerrone, considering he wasn't at his best any longer. Again, wasn't in his prime. But people really thought Hernandez was going to be the next big thing. Again, he looked very good against Dariush and Mercier. And people thought that might have been the case against Donald Cerrone. And Hernandez was, he was very high on all this hype that he had managed to build going into this fight.
I just see myself facing an insecure little lad swinging on a saddle with a pop gun and a feather in his hat.
A little insecure, popping cattle, whatever. That's good. I can't wait for Saturday, man. I'm excited.
Static about Saturday.
Static, yeah. But listen, my little friend, I'm not one to sit there and talk. So if you got like big things to say, we're fighting on Saturday. Keep it professional. We just stood in the back. You didn't have much to say. So if you do,
you didn't have much to say either, partner. I'll tell you this, little friend. I'll be sending your geriatric ass hee-hawing back to the stables on Saturday.
I know. I understand you talking live, and Saturday's coming, so let's fight for money on Saturday. But I'm not the guy to sit here and talk to you because I know what floor you're on. They don't put me in the wrong room. I'm right next to you. Little.
And then the fight actually took place, and yeah, it didn't go Alex Hernandez's way. He got absolutely walloped. He got finished in the second round by ground and pound. He came out the gates like he always did, very aggressive, was trying to land big shots. I think he landed a couple shots, I think he landed like a left uppercut and a straight right. But then Cerrone kind of just took over towards the end of the round. It felt like every time Cerrone landed a shot, it really damaged Hernandez bad, whereas when Hernandez landed, it didn't really have the same effect than when Cerrone landed any shots. His face started to get cut up quite a bit. Cerrone was able to land a lot of straight shots, knees to the body, to the head, a few elbows in the clinch. And then in the second round, Hernandez came out, tried to actually grapple this time, and Cerrone wasn't having any of it, and Hernandez wasn't able to get the takedown. And again, Cerrone just picked him off on the feet and was able to land his signature right high kick, dropped Hernandez. and then followed it with ground and pound and got the finish in the second round. After this fight, no one really looked at Hernandez the same way. Everyone kind of looked at him like a sort of clown. You know, a lot of people saying this was a massive humbling, which it was. He'll get wins here and there. It would be like a win, a loss, that sort of thing. And then in his most recent outing, he lost to Damon Jackson by split decision. At 31 years old, he's still got plenty of time left in order to actually do something and get the title, which was his main goal. But whether he'll be able to do it is a completely different story. If you have enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and maybe consider subscribing to the channel, where I plan on making daily MMA videos. Thanks for watching the video.